We'd like to welcome everyone back to the 7th Annual Talladega County Coaches Association High School Football Media Day. We are live at the Talladega Super Speedway in the Ken Patterson Infield Media Center. Next up, we have the Childersburg Tigers, coached by Jonathan Beverly. Representing the Tigers today, we have Austin Douglas, Terry Thomas, and Keyshawn Reynolds. The Tigers open the season at home on August the 24th against Shelby County.
Coach, just talk about the guys you have with you and how's something been going for you guys?
Well, it's been a really good summer for us. With us today, we got Austin Douglas, starting quarterback, Terry Thomas, who plays safety and tailback for us, and Keyshawn Reynolds, who starts at center and plays some defensive tackle for us as well. So it's been a really good summer, and these three guys have been putting in a lot of work along with our entire team. We've been really getting after it. Throughout the spring and then throughout the summer. So we feel really good about the summer we've had.
Coach, just talk about year three. You guys got a lot of things accomplished last year. I mean, what do you want to accomplish this year? What do you got? Your goals for your team?
Well, ultimately, our main goal is to continue to move forward. So we want to be better than we were in year two. Year two was a pretty good year for us. Tangibly speaking, we made the playoffs. So that was something that we definitely wanted to accomplish. So year three, we want to be better. We want to not only get to a place where we can make the playoffs, but progress in the playoffs. So obviously last year it was an exit after round one for us. So we want to get past that. And so our motto this year is to keep climbing. So last year, we qualified, we made the playoffs, we were able to do some good things. So we need to climb from there. So that's the main goal for year three, to be better, without a doubt, better than we were in year two. So I feel like, these guys, not just these guys here, but the guys that have been putting in a lot of the work, we're in a position to be able to do that.
Just talk about your team a little bit, Coach. You lost a lot last year, but you got some talented players coming back.
We feel really good about what we got coming back. No doubt, we had a great group of seniors last year. We had a lot of offensive production last year with a couple of those seniors who aren't with us. But we feel really good about what we've got coming back. I said it in the spring. I thought spring practice showed that I think we can be really good defensively. And I think the summers continue to show that. I think defensively, we've got an opportunity to be a really good team on that side of the ball. And offensively, we've really come together throughout spring and throughout the summer, and we've gotten better each day. But our main thing, our main focus, we're going to be a physical team on both sides of the ball. We want to be a very physical defense. We want teams to leave Friday night knowing that they've played a real tough physical game. And then offensively, we want to be physical. I mean, Austin does a great job distributing the football and throwing the football downfield, but without a doubt, it starts for us up front running the football. So we want to be physical on both sides of the football. We want to be a punishing front on both sides of the football. Offensive and defensive line play for us will be big. But again, we expect to be, like I said, a very physical, fast, and fun football team. So, that's our brand of football. We want to be physical, fast, and fun.
Talk about the new not really a new region, but just talk about the realignment and things you have in there.
There's a couple of new wrinkles with the region. Again, it's one of the toughest regions in 4A. So you've got, obviously Munford and Tallahassee are out, two really talented football teams, but, we inherit Talladega and Lincoln, two other teams that, are coming down from 5A that are really good football teams, well-coached football teams. So, of course, you still got Leeds and Handley, Elmore County and Hopeful that are still in. And so it's a tough region. It's a talented region. It's a region that's well-coached. Honestly, personally, I love the fact that we're in such a region that you've got to prepare each and every week. There's no off weeks. And so I think it helps us, stay in tune during the week. Our kids know that no matter who we're playing week to week, that every game's a big game. And so you don't have any lapse of focus throughout the week. And I think that's important for us. And I also think it's fun to have some inter-county rivals. To be able to add Lincoln and add Talladega to the schedule, I think that's great for our fans. I think it's great for our community. I think it's great for our kids. I think they're going to have a lot of fun with it. it's great for our coaches. All our coaches know each other, so it's fun to be able to play those guys that some of us have worked together before. So that's fun, and so we're really excited about it.
Jonathan, a couple of things. I'm asking everybody, so some of these guys are going to get tired of hearing this question, but what's your take on the instant replay issue in high school? Have you bought the equipment? And I think the only 8 teams in the state have. Hanley is one of them, but it's at their place and you don't go there, so you're probably not going to be dealing with that. But in the first 2 parts, what's your take on that, and have you gotten the stuff?
My take on it, I'll say this: we haven't purchased it. We won't use it at our stadium. And my take on it, I think, the Alabama High School Athletic Association is at the forefront of high school athletics in America. I think we've got one of the best associations, if not the best association in the country. I've had the privilege of working in other states, but as far as football is concerned, in my opinion, Alabama is without a doubt in the top 5, I think, in the country. But bias, if I'm going to be biased, I'm going to say we've got the best football in America. So to be able to add instant replay, I think our athletic association took a lot of things into account, and I think they made a good decision by being able to implement it. Now, that being said, it is costly, and I think every coach, every athletic department has to make decisions that's best for their athletic department. For us, we felt like that initial cost for this year, we felt like those funds could probably go somewhere else and benefit our team in other ways. But on the flip side, I get it that some people may put a high value on that for this year. It's something that we'll probably do down the line. It's just not something we're going to do this year. But I think overall, I think it was a good decision, and it might not affect us for this year or next. But I think you'll see some games across the state where there's some things that can be called the right way on Friday night. You're not leaving that stadium, having that question.
I largely think it's the cost issue that's keeping people from doing it. And then the other thing, did I see somewhere, did you do a 7-on-7 last night or tonight, or you got one coming up?
We had one yesterday.
And can you just share with us how your guys did, what you got out of it, just how it all went?
Well, we had a great opportunity to partner with Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and so we were the host school, but FCA was the sponsor for the tournament. And so we had the majority of the schools within our county, in addition to Pell City and Benjamin Russell and Horseshoe Bend. And it was a really cool experience. We got a lot of good work in, and there was a lot of good competition. But I think it was a cool experience for our kids, for our coaches, to be able to fellowship with other teams and other coaches. And they heard some great messages throughout the day. And then on top of that, I think we just had some great competition. And, for us, 7-on-7 this summer has been pretty good. We had a pretty good day to start the summer at Birmingham Southern. We went to Helena and went undefeated against some really good competition there, and then had a really good day at Sanford a few weeks ago. And so typically we don't do anything this late in the summer, but yesterday I thought was a really good experience. And so we had a pretty good day yesterday. And like I said, for us, 7-on-7 is something that I think really benefits us. But on the flip side, offensively, we're going to try to be as balanced as possible, and everything starts with the run game. So it doesn't really give us the entire picture of what we'll look like offensively, but to give our guys credit, I thought we had a really good summer with 7-on-7.
What's your quarterback think about the 7-on-7 stuff? Going undefeated at one place and playing well last night.
It's not just me. I'm doing good in most of the 7-on-7s, but it's really my receivers and play calling that's really helping us win. And we are playing a lot of good defenses, a lot of good teams. But at the end of the day, if I'm making good throws, receivers are catching the ball, and good plays are being called, I don't see that there's a defense that could really stop our offense.
We're just going to ask a couple questions to the players individually. Austin Douglas, this is your year to play quarterback. I believe you're a senior now, right?
Yes, sir.
I remember as a freshman you started some games, and then they put some other guys back in the lineup ahead of you. Just kind of talk about how that development over the past couple of years under Coach Beverly has prepared you for this point to where you're going back in as a starter as a senior.
Well, getting the playing time young has really benefited me because it shows me what real game experience is like, and it just helps build my character and my play style because even though I didn't do phenomenal in those games, it helped me show what the competition was going to be like and how much I needed to work on my craft and just make myself a better player at practice through the week and just try to benefit the team on game day.
And just kind of talk about your goals for the upcoming season for yourself and as a team.
I think my goal is to at least make the postseason, but to do that, we gotta win game one on August 24th. We gotta beat Shelby County. We gotta beat Talladega, beat TC. We just gotta keep winning. If we take it one game at a time, there's no doubt we'll make playoffs.
And Terry Thomas, you're coming back as a senior as well, kind of like
Junior.
Or you're a junior. I keep trying to graduate him early on Twitter or put him up higher than he is in school. Just kind of talk about coming back and playing another year with Childersburg and being kind of one of the heart and soul pieces of the defense, key leaders out there.
Well, it feels very good coming back because last year we had a very good season. Defense played well, and we're returning most of our defensive players, so I feel like we can have our best year ever as a defensive unit. And offensively, playing running back is great with the great offensive line we have. They open holes, give us plenty of opportunities. So it feels very good coming back.
And Keyshawn Reynolds, I remember a story I did on you back when you were a freshman. You went to Nick Saban's camp and got some really high grades up there. Just talk about how much you've grown as a football player over the past 3 seasons.
For the past seasons, I've basically been playing varsity my whole high school career. So I've been throwing the fire since I was young. So it's basically nothing new for real. Just keep working, keep building a great relationship with my offensive line, defensive line. I think would be great.
What are you going to need from the guys you have right there? What you going to need from them this year?
Well, and I'll go left to right. Keyshawn hit on a great point. This is he started as a freshman. Starting as a freshman in varsity football is not easy, but especially at the position he plays at center, it's a big task. And so he took some lumps his freshman year, and then the sophomore year, obviously last year was a lot better. And then we're expecting big things out of him, and he's our leader up front. He makes sure that our protections are right. He makes sure that we're moving the right direction when we run the football. And so it means a lot to have a veteran up front, even though he's just a junior. This is his third year starting. So that's big to have a veteran. It's the centerpiece of your offensive line. The same thing for Terry. I think Shane hit up a point. He's been trying to graduate him a little early, but it's mainly because he's been playing since he was a freshman. He's been starting since he was a freshman. So this is his third year again to start. And so I know there are probably opposing coaches that are wondering when he's going to graduate too. But I promise he's just a junior. But again, a guy who's been around. And we knew when we came in, a couple of years ago that we were going to play young guys, and that the results might not be what we had wanted to be year one, but we knew that it would put us in a position, hopefully, to be where we are going into year 3. And then, to Austin's credit, this is a guy that's battled for the last 3 years. Got thrown into the fire early because of an injury situation in his sophomore year, and really handled himself about as well as any 15-year-old kid could have handled himself. For a Friday night against his first start against a Pell City team that was loaded, and really handled himself again as well as he could handle it. And being involved in some pieces that were moving around, he's handled it with grace. He's handled it with maturity. And honestly, last year as a junior, there were times when, we felt like from a talent standpoint, a mechanical standpoint, was probably the best quarterback on our roster. But there were maybe some things that, maybe some other guys brought to the table that we needed at that moment. And so now, as a senior, without a doubt, I feel like he's ready. And I feel like he's ready to thrive. Not just ready to be in there and be the guy just because, he's a senior, but ready to thrive because of the work that he's put in. And so I feel, really good about, giving the keys to our offense to this guy because there's no doubt he's battle tested. There's no doubt that he knows our system. He knows it, yesterday and a couple weeks ago at Sanford. He's getting ready to call the play before I can even call. Like he knows, when we're in the red zone, okay, coach is going to call this play, and he just knows it. He knows our system. He knows the rhythm of how I call plays, and so that feels really good as a play caller because I know that we're on the same page, and we're on the same page because of the way that he's handled himself the last few years.
Jonathan, did you get Aniston early? You played him the last game of the year.
Right.
Did you get them on the schedule early while Eddie was still there, or when Rico got to be the head coach? How did that come about? Because I know they're different than your last game last year.
Right. We scheduled Aniston for week 10. Really, Coach Bullock was still the head coach there. And so Coach Bullock and I have known each other for a few years, and we made an agreement last summer that when the new schedules were put out that we would play each other either week 5 or week 10. But we always play Sylacauga week 5, and so I told him, hey, we're probably not going to move that Sylacauga game. We'll continue to play them in the middle of the season. So we made that decision to play Anderson week 10. And I don't know their new football coach, but I'm sure he's doing a good job, and we'll keep that game week 10. And
Still honor that even.
Yeah, we're still on. Right. Right. We're going to play them week 10. We'll be at their place, and hopefully that won't be our final game. Hopefully we'll be able to play the week after, but we're looking forward to it. Again, I love our schedule from the standpoint of it being a very competitive schedule. We don't have any off weeks, and that personally I like that again because it helps keep us focused throughout the week.
If there are no further questions, that wraps up the Childersburg High School Tigers. We want to wish them good luck this season. And next up, we will have Lincoln High School.